All right, so we're here live again. This is my original garden area, and behind me is what remains of corn that was taken from us. It was raccoons. This happens to a lot of people. And the thing is, we're right here at the edge, and whenever you're at the edge, you're at risk. So this is just another edge, but if we look over here behind us, beyond the corn, we have something going on. Something really dramatic is going on. You know, here on the opposite edge, let's flip around. Here on the opposite edge, we have feverfew growing, which is an herb, a perennial. That edge over there is just our weeds, you know, then whatever here naturally, or quote naturally, right? And this area here is all lemon balm that's gone to seed. But right here, these beauties, this is sorghum. And as you can see, no one's bothering them. Down in the understory, we have some lemon balm left, and then we also have strawberries here. Lemon balm's over here. And I kind of don't want the lemon balm to be crowding in here because those are my yellow strawberries in there. I don't want those to dominate because they're awesome. So yeah, let's take a look at this closer. So this is just a baby. This is right here. I wonder if that's fully focused. There we go. So this is a young sorghum plant. I'm gonna cut this head off, and this plant is gonna sprout several more. So the idea is that we can get several yields off one stalk. For corn, sometimes you get one or two. These you can get 4 or 5. And as you can see, there are many of them. So if you live in an area where corn just gets brutalized, you might consider, you know, that you might grow sorghum. It's really drought tolerant. The bees like it. Can you see the bees on them? Kind of silhouetting, but there you go. There's a bee right there. I don't know if you guys can see it before it goes HD, but it'll go HD later. But yeah, there's bees going to our sorghum. So it's awesome for pollination. It's awesome for food. Let's talk about. Let me flip around and let's talk. Before we go, let's talk about sorghum. So it's a grain that's similar to corn, except it's smaller and it's I would say tougher. Its distribution is different inside the seed. So popping wise, it tastes like it's softer and it tastes more nutty than regular popcorn. So it's awesome. I think it's a superior popping thing. Let me get it further out. Hopefully my arm doesn't shake. I don't have one of those devices like Nicholas. And then you could cook it like you do any other grain. You could boil it, and then you also could grind it. There's sorghum flours out there. There's also this thing where you could remove the developing seed heads, and you could have the stalks become really filled with sap, and then that turns into a syrup that you cook down, and then you make syrup. So sorghum's a plant that you can get a sweetener off of, and you can get a grain, and popcorn, and flour. So it's kind of, I know we want sweet corn. We all want sweet corn in our garden. I understand. But maybe do that close to your house, and then as a moderate patch. But then your grain and some of your sweetener you do out here, way out here, because this is, totally left alone. And if you guys saw those pictures that I shared earlier, where it's like, this part of my garden's fine, and this part has, animals all through it. I can probably show you some of the holes for the varmints, but they're bigger and fewer in the areas that are developed like this, and then they don't attack everything else. So it's pretty amazing. It's all about selection of the plants, and it's all about noticing what grows in your area. trialing enough things, and understanding what techniques work and why. So those are the kind of things I'm going to be going over in my webinar. But before we go, I think I want to show you some of these bees. There's a few of them that are like in a gang here, and they're working together, I think. They're brothers or something, or sisters. Someone's going to correct me on that, I know. So here they are, these three. They just keep going everywhere together. I'll step a little bit further in so you can see them. Oh, they have a fourth friend now. But yeah, they love my sorghum, and I can just hear them everywhere. These are actually probably the honeybees I bought a long time ago that left my hive. I found, after I got my hive, I found a mite strip in it from the guy. And I had asked him if they were healthy, and he said, yeah, and I paid him, and you know how it goes, right? But that's why, you got to get the right hives, you got to talk to the right people, and that's how you learn. And the beautiful thing was I've got this gigantic garden, and the bees never left. They just found a tree that was rotting, and we have plenty in this area, and so they wanted that fungi to heal up. And so that's all they did. So, all right, trying it today. No need to remove the casing. Are there different kinds of sorghum for syrup grains? There's actually dual-purpose sorghum grains. You can get them at rareseeds.com from Jared Gettle, Baker Creek Seed Company. Okay, and the casing. The casing, I didn't need to remove the casing when I popped it. I don't know about the casing for grinding into flour, but I have a grain grinder, so we're gonna have to go there sometime and try that out. So someone says we've been growing it here in Costa Rica, which is very wet, but we don't know how to use it. We'll pop it for popcorn first, and then just do a little bit of online research, because the reality is this grain is amazing. So dive in, and this is all throw-sow, by the way. This was not planted. I didn't do that. Actually, to be honest, this is the area I planted corn in first, and then the critters told me. They politely let me, well, no, they didn't politely let me know. Okay, so they just ate everything, very impolitely, to be honest. And so what I did was I came in and I just throw-sowed, and it just turned into this. And as you can see, there's other things mixed in. There's beans and sunflowers and mustard, and what some people call would be weeds. They're grasses. Okay, so someone's saying, do you sprout and dehydrate the grain before making it into flour? I'm not making it into flour yet, Solani, but I'm certainly sizing up. I went from one seed pack to a full 3-gallon bag in one season. So I expect this season to suddenly have enough to really consider it part of my food storage. That's another thing. My motivation for growing food may be different from other people. A lot of people just do it for fun. I mean, people are growing pancakes, making pancakes and then throwing them to their chickens. So people are doing all sorts of wild things with their money and time, so I'm not here for that. What I'm doing is I'm growing seed to replace all my food. And I'm growing seed and food to create a food bank and seed bank at my homestead, so that I don't have to worry about like dangerous times and shortages. In my area, there was a food shortage. Here, I'll flip it around. In my area, there was like an immediate food shortage when there was like a big snowstorm that knocked out power and made the roads impassable a little bit further north than us. And the food trucks couldn't get through to the grocery store, and people didn't have any food storage, and so they went hungry, which is awful. And so it's like a very important lesson. We always believed in food storage, but I believe in living food storage first. So yeah, have those cans of storage and everything going on in your bunker or what have you. But unless your land is regularly giving you your staple foods, I just don't see the point in being frivolous. I have all the frivolity, I'm testing and trialing and always have the fun things going on. But I'm working on my staples because that's really what matters. And as Mark Shepard talks about, if you're not growing your staples, you're still supporting the old system and the old way. So we need to all be perennializing all parts of our lives. More stuff we'll be talking about at the webinar. Yeah, Sorghum beer, says Raleigh, who's the co-host at the webinar. I don't drink, but if you guys drink, hop on with Raleigh and you guys will be making sorghum together. I'm sure he's going to figure it out or already knows how to do that. Though it's very easy to make most things into alcohol. It's yeasts, sugar, and then a food source. You know what I mean? It's not very complicated. You know what I mean? All right, so I'm going to sign off. Thank you for stopping in. I hope I answered everyone's questions. And have an awesome weekend. I'm going to go right now. I'm going to hop in the car after I eat breakfast. I'm going to drive up a few hours. I'm going to speak at Soil Not Oil. Hopefully catch a couple talks. But, you know, when you have a homestead and a family and your own business, traveling takes a lot of time. And what you tend to do is not hang out very much. And you tend to work. And that's just a part of being a family guy, I think, too. So I hope to see everyone when I get to visit, but I have to be quick and come back here and then keep videotaping for you guys. We keep getting ready for that webinar. All right, I'll talk to you then. Bye.